thank you, Mr. Mann. And I didn't even mention, we are so excited to be partnering with Radio La Difference. I'm practicing my enunciation, but we are really excited to be partnering with our local radio station here. Another partnership. It is really our duty and our job to make sure we are reaching out, we are supporting our local businesses. We can support each other right here in the community and uplift our community. And that's what we really are excited about doing. So apparently we lost a little audio, so we kind of are not starting over, but we are just wanting to backtrack. We want to make sure we get everyone introduced. We want to make sure you guys know about Evanston Cradle to Career, who we are, who the advocates are, who we are as a team, and kind of what we'd like to accomplish. Again, I am Kimberly Holmes Ross. I am the Community Engagement Director with Evanston Cradle to Career, and these are our Advocates for Action. So I will let them introduce themselves, come back and tell you a little bit about who we are. That great theme song you heard was from a former advocate, Mr. Adrian Dorsch. So somebody tag him in this post as you share it, and start a watch party. His whole family put that together for us. So thank you, Mr. Adrian. We miss you. Not all of we're dealing with all this racial injustices and unrest. We're dealing with a pandemic. The economy has crashed. So it's really tough right now. So as my advocates introduce themselves and tell the audience why they are advocates, why they are passionate about this work, why they think it's important, I want to check in with them to see how are you okay? Are you navigating yourself? Well, are you taking care of yourself? And if so, how? So I'm going to start with Demita. And Demita, come on and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Demita Cravens. The reason why I wanted to be a part of the Advocates is because I believe in community. I believe in serving the community and doing what I can to do my part. I believe in being a part of the solution and not part of the problem. And that can happen in many different ways. When I was introduced to being an advocate, I thought it was great because we would be able to help our community in ways that normally other communities cannot, especially with the community grants that Ms. Kim was talking about, and just being on the ground, doing whatever we need to do to assist the city of Evanston as well, reach everyone in our community. I've been doing okay with everything that's going on. I'll be honest and say that I don't always have the space to kind of really just settle in it, but because I'm a therapist, I'm out here helping the people in the community work through their issues. So by helping them work through their issues, it helps me out as well.
Thanks, Demita. Now I'm going to change it up. I'm going to start with Glenn. Glenn, tell us why you're an advocate. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, good morning. My name is Glenn Mackey, and I'm an advocate for action. I'm deeply rooted and embedded in my community. I serve on a majority of different appointed boards, and I'm indigenous to this land. So I have a passion for my past, my present, and my future. And when I look at things from a different aspect, being involved in different outreach committees, I see there's something missing. And I found that in Advocates for Action. And that's why I jumped on the opportunity right away, because we have an organic grassroots mythology, and we are able to penetrate and reach deep into the community so we can feel the pulse of our community, the lifeblood that drives us. And this fabric is something that's getting torn away little by little. You know, people are concerned about the pandemic. People are concerned about racism. Well, as a Black man in America, in Evanston, a father, I look at this as everyday things since the day I was born. Nothing has changed. The deadly pandemic has been for our people of color not to have the right type of health care or access to it. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're a woman, you're 200 times more likely to die of women's female health. You know, our children are the first ones to fall behind in education, and these are the problems we have to address and correct. And a lot of times, if you stand up for yourself, people look at you being violent when they don't look at you, but everyone feels our pain that are of color. And yes, I stand up for Black people. I stand up for people that are brown, but I also stand up for all people, because it's going to take a cohesive understanding, and it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful, but we don't want anybody there who doesn't feel any pain, because then if there's no conflict, there's no forward momentum. And that's what I have to say today. So thank you.
No, thank you, Glenn. Jude Laude joined us, who's not an advocate, but another Black man. And I guess I'm going to go ahead, since you're on, Jude, so we won't keep you because I know you're super busy. And speaking of Black men, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about what's happening in the city. Part of what we're doing every Saturday morning is bringing you information, resources, what's going on in the city. So especially for my Evanstonians who have now moved out of town, this is a way for you to still connect with what's going on in your hometown. So please spread the word around to people you know who've moved away. And, you know, you'll always be a wild kid. So you really kind of want to know what's going on and connect. We're here to do that. So Jude, there's something exciting going on tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and give you a moment to talk about it. Thank you for coming on.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kim. And Ms. Holmes-Ross, I want to salute you for this taking on this challenge. This is a great vehicle and a platform that you've seized the opportunity to take on this responsibility to be a voice and a vehicle for the community's concerns and highlights can be shown to everyone beyond Evanston, even, and Evanstonians throughout the nation and beyond. So I want to congratulate you on this new endeavor. I'm a Black man from Evanston, walked these streets, went to these schools, and I am not okay. I am a father, a husband. I'm a friend. I'm currently a school board member of District 202. And we have all been traumatized. And when we saw the film of Brother George Floyd savagely being dealt with as if he were less than human, we cried out and we felt the pain, because that could be us. That could be one of my 3 sons. And it has been too many sons and too many fathers in the past. So we've mobilized to put on a rally in the heart of Evanston, in the public square at Fountain Square, to lift up our voices in solidarity to the host of families that have been traumatized and have had to go through these horrifying experiences at the hands of the police and the justice system, and in all aspects of our lives, really. But we really see it in a glaring way when we see folks savagely being killed as if they are less than human. We will lift up our voices as a community in support of Black families. There will be an opportunity for some members of the community, mainly Black men, in support of Black families and our Black women, to allow us to express not only the pain that we're feeling, but to lift up what the issues really are and all of the outcomes in all aspects of our lives that are impacted by unfair and brutal and policing. It affects us economically. Our young men are criminalized and they can't work in their own town. When I was running for the school board, I was amazed as I was passing out promotional materials. I realized how many people at the beginning of the day, because I would be there all day long on that platform, how many people came in from outside of Evanston to work. And then at the end of the day, because I had to be there where, you know, there was most traffic, how many people left the city at the end of the day? So we're going to lift up our voices, and there will be a range of speakers. There'll probably be about 10 people on the program. And there are several organizations who are in support and have helped to organize this rally: NAACP, Black Evanston Men, the Chessmen Club of the North Shore, Kappa Alpha Psi Evanston chapter. So there are a range of Black men that have come together, and we're calling on all of the Evanston community, in particular our Black families, to come and be supported by the entire Evanston community, because there must be a transformation, and that transformation starts locally. And that's what we are faced with every day. And to the extent that we can be a model, just as we are forging ahead with the reparations initiative, there are challenges, but yet we have taken a significant and historical step here in Evanston. And I think that we can do so in other ways too.
Thank you, Jude. And I know you're busy, so if you have to hop off, that's fine. Thank you for taking the time to join us tomorrow, guys, at 2:00. That's not how the show was gonna go today, but that's how it needed to go today. We're here to bring you, up to the minute if we can, things that are happening here, things that are important to the community. I felt like that was really an important message to get out. It's great what's going on nationally. We need to make sure here locally that we are supporting and participating in positive ways. And this is just great. So Jude, thank you. I do want to make sure before we do get off the air that the rest of the advocates can come on, talk about why they are advocates, why they chose this path. And I'll start with Tawanda, who's up in the corner. Tawanda, we're gonna go ahead and mute you. We had to mute Tawanda. Her internet bad. I'm sorry. Sometimes it happens. This is a new production for us, so bear with us. But T, thank you. We're gonna make sure we get back to you at some point. We're gonna be with you guys for 12 weeks, every week, every Saturday morning. Grab your coffee, 10:00, and we're gonna be talking about everything from mental health to minority business, education, racial unrest, the whole thing. Join us every Saturday morning, please. I'm gonna go to Patrina Gregory.
Morning, everybody. I have been on this journey for a while now. I've started by working with Evanston Cradle to Career in different ways, and then Advocates was born, and I hopped on that train, and I have loved it since I've been on it. But the reason why I wanted to be on it is because I am a lifelong resident, and my community have been so supportive of me. I became a single mother of 3 children when my children were very young, and the community wrapped their arms around me and supported me through getting 3 degrees and finally now a career. So I want to be able to give back in any way I can. And I love working with children and families. I am a licensed counselor and a teacher at District 65. And I love working with young children and being a support to families. So that's where my heart lies. Right now, with everything going on in the world, my emotions have been all over the place, and that's minute to minute. I'm hurting. And with that, I'm doing a lot of praying for our country, for our people, for our children, for our Black men. As the mother of 3 Black children and a Black son and 2 grandchildren, it's hurtful and painful. So I do a lot of praying for our nation, for our people.
Thank you, Trina, for your prayers, because we certainly need them. I do want to stop and thank people for watching. I see Kelly, one of our old advocates, always will be an advocate. I can't even call her an old advocate, but one of our former advocates is watching with us. Gay Combs is watching with us. Kimon Hendricks, who I hope to come on and talk about Juneteenth. We're really excited, Kimon. Lisa Laude is watching with us, who helped make this partnership happen with Mr. Mann and Radio La Difference. So thanks, Lisa, for watching. I saw David Weeks, who's watching all the way, I believe, from Mississippi, but an Evanstonian, and our executive director, who is leaving soon. I'm really sad. Sheila Mary's watching with us. My friend Carol Harris is watching with us. Thanks, Carol. Kellyanne from YLU is watching with us. So please share this video, guys. We are really here to bring information, to connect you with the community. I heard that we're going to be doing some location things soon, so I'm really excited about that. But I do want to get a couple more people introduced before we have to get off the air. I know we had a few technical things going on, but hang with us. We're going to get it right. So Betty, can you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning. My name is Betty Combs. I'm the Executive Director for Reba Early Learning Center. I have been with Cradle to Career since the beginning, as our organization signed on as a partner, and I became involved with the Community Engagement Action Team, which later evolved into the Advocates for Action. And one of the reasons why I was so passionate about being in the community engagement arena is because our voices need to be heard. I wanted us to be at the table for decision-making processes that affect everyone in the city. I'm a lifelong resident. I went to school here. My children went to school here. My husband went to school here. And over time, what's happened recently just brought me back to the 60s when I was a teenager. And what hit me the most was that you hear about lynchings and you hear about what happened previously to people of color, Black people, but this was the first time that I actually saw it played out in front of my eyes. And it brought up a tremendous amount of fear, because you have experiences, we get used to it as Black people, we get used to it, we don't say anything, we push it down, we ignore it. It's time to stop ignoring it. And if I want a last thought, I want our children to be productive, to feel good and confident about themselves. That's what I work to do every day in our center. And I also want white people to stand up. Don't just shake your head or ask how we are. Stand up and support us. Support us in changing the systems that are inequitable, so that they can be fair for everyone. If you're going to talk the talk, then you have to walk the walk. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Betty is one of our partners. So as you see, we have community members, we have partners. Betty is with the Reba Learning Center. We have Miss Joanne Avery, who's with Family Focus. So we are all in this together. So Betty, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm not sure how much time we have, Mr. Mann.
We have time. We have time, Kim. We do have
We're
time.
okay?
Yes,
Okay, I want
we
to
do.
make sure I get
Yes.
everybody introduced. Now, I don't know if do we need to go back? I know we had Glenn already. How about go to Daphne? Daphne, who's I said brother, gave us our great song. If you didn't hear it at the end, stay with us at the beginning. Stay with us and you'll hear it at the end. Come on, Daphne.
Hi, my name is Daphne Dorch. I'm a longtime resident, born and raised in Evanston. I take so much pride in my community, and that's why I chose to become an advocate for action, because although our community is great, there's so many things that do need to be changed in our community. So that's why I decided to join Advocates for Action. As far as the state of the world, I'm sure just like everyone else, I'm navigating my way. This has just changed everyone's life around. So just like everyone else, my whole world has changed. So
Thanks, Daphne. And everything has changed. And I'm so proud to be a part of an organization where we have had an equity statement out for the last 4 years. We knew this is not new. And everybody George Floyd was the last straw. He wasn't the first. He was the last straw. We've been hurting as a people for a long time. And now the wound is just open and it's pouring. And so we're here to help heal. We'll heal with each other as we have hurt with each other. We'd like to heal with each other as well. So the advocates are going to be here for you, not just all summer, all the time. So I hope as people are commenting, I saw Mary Beth is watching with us. Mary Beth just retired from Evanston Community Foundation, who is our fiscal agent and who helps us with the community building grants. I said a lot of people know us from the grants, and we will be back in October for our 4th round. So some people have been asking. I want to make sure we've gotten everybody. Tiffany.
Hello, good morning. My name is Tiffany Jackson, and I became an advocate. I'm a Long Life Evanston resident. And when I was young, we had all the resources. Our parents had all the resources that they needed for us to survive in school and in anything that we did. So the reason why I became a member is because I wanted my community to get the resources that they need for their children.
Thanks, Tiffany. I want to make sure, did we get everybody? Was anybody missed? I hope not. Again, we are going to be here with you every Saturday morning at 10. We'll be here for a half an hour. We have some great shows coming up. Again, we're going to be talking about Black business. We know Juneteenth is coming up. And again, I saw Kimon in our comments. We really want to support Juneteenth. It's going to be virtual, of course, this year, but there are yard signs available. There will be T-shirts, all kinds of things we can do in support of that. One of our community building grants from the Danny Jo Dancers, her dance troupe will be dancing during the virtual show. They received a grant, and I think they must have maybe 10 or 15 dancers who have continued to practice virtually. We have all had to pivot and adjust our lives during this time. Anything we can do to support that. I don't know if people saw our shows with the students over the quarantine. We did a quarantine series to give students a platform and a voice to talk about how they were dealing with things. And that's what we want to do on this level. We want to have a space and a safe space and a place for people to talk about their concerns, what they're feeling, what we can do, what we can help do. The Advocates just didn't start this Saturday. We've been around since 2018, and I can never talk about the advocates and not mention Pastor Monte Dillard, who is our leadership trainer, who has led us from the very beginning. Pastor Dillard has a wonderful leadership training program. When we developed this community leadership team, and we know we wanted just people from the community, so not necessarily people who have been in leadership positions. We knew we needed to train them. We knew we needed to get people thinking the way, I don't want to say the leaders think, but thinking in the way how they want to make a difference. So this group trained over the last, well, they've trained about 6 months, and then, got right on the ground and began working. We're going to start an additional group, and these will always be our original advocates, but we will grow the group sometime in 2021. So I'll be recruiting. So watch for me to say, yeah, you're interested. So if you're interested in making a difference in your community and having some impact, I'll be contacting you, or hey, contact me, or leave a message on our page. But we do want to grow the group. So with that, Mr. Mann, I hope you can take us out with a little bit of our video. Before we leave, I just want to thank everybody who's watching. I think I saw everybody who was in the comments, but thank you for watching. Please, every Saturday morning, let people know we'll be here. We'll be here for you. Rally tomorrow for people who are interested. Fountain Square, 2 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. Have a great Saturday. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daisy Copeland, and I'm 40 years old. I'm a working mom of 2 girls. I'm married, and I live here in Evanston, Illinois. I decided to become a member of Advocates for Action because I found that it was a really innovative way to get involved in the community, basically recognizing that as a citizen, you don't necessarily have to have a title or a leadership position to empower yourself and be an active voice and make change.
My name is Glenn Mackey, and happily married, and I'm a father of a daughter. Advocates for Action, I think, basically, to make it really simple, they're a group of concerned residents, citizens of Evanston, that have got together, organized ourselves, educated ourselves, and started a process of continuous learning and understanding and incorporating different ideas into our environment so we can start liberating people and educating people.
The approach that I wanted to have as it pertains to the model of training for Advocates for Action, we call it the 4 Ds. It is determine, develop, deploy, and deepen.
So the training with Pastor Dillard for me, I will say, was very interesting. I absolutely loved it. I look forward to my Saturdays, and I will go away, reevaluating some things.
What makes Advocate for Action different than any other group is that we have over 40 organizations that we partner with, more resources.
The issues that I'm excited to see the Advocates for Action help the city with is, frankly, issues that we're struggling with right now. And I think that, hearing the voices from a lot of people around this community will make sure that some of the social service programs and the really important youth programs that we have in the community are protected.
My vision is for this group to become a cohort.
My hope for the future of Advocates for Action is more members of our community will find their voice.
I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate for action.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. Everybody have a great and safe Saturday. We'll see you next week.
been listening to Evanston Cradle to Career. Please tune in next Saturday for another show.